Hey guys, happy Friday. We got a lot going on today, coming off a big Thursday. 2-0 night last night. Denver Nuggets plus the 3 units. They take the 3-0 lead in the series. Then we also hit the Cubbies earlier on in the day, plus 132 units. Nice little 5.5 unit day heading on into the weekend. Hopefully we can build on that momentum. Multiple bets in the MLB. We got an NBA playoff bet. Stay tuned. We'll go through all of it. John, nice to get a big day under the belt. Playoffs been fascinating. Home teams mostly taking care of business. Nuggets and Mavs the other night able to break that a little bit. And Miami Heat, John, going on into Boston, stealing one. Can't say I had that one on the cards.
Well, we actually did have that one. We had that one first half after the Celtics scored the first 14 points in game one. If you guys know, I regard Coach Spo as the best head coach in NBA. He was not going to let that happen again. Wasn't so sure about the game. Man, this Boston team, this is their kryptonite. But they knocked down 26 three-pointers, was it?
I think 23.
23 six-pointers, 23 scoring 69 points off those three-pointers on, I believe it was 46. No, I'm sorry, because they shot over 50%. Let me get the right number.
I believe.
Anyway, they were ridiculous from three-point line. But Miami, this is what they do. This is what they do in playoff time. Yep. With playoff Jimmy or not, they give the Celtics fits. They're the Celtics kryptonite. So we had the first half in that game. Not expecting Miami to beat them, but they snuck up on Boston. Maybe that's the wake-up call Celtics need early in the series. This is a team that lost, it was 3 or 4 games at home all year. So to get shocked again by a team coming through the play-in, as they did last year, only last year they had Jimmy Butler to do it. Don't expect them to get another W in this series, but that's what makes sports, and that's what makes gambling. Anything can happen. We saw it in that game. Excuse the voice today, guys. Good night last night, Denver Nuggets. Me and Ben had a little bit of a different opinion on this one. He kind of felt Lakers might have a shot. When one team owns another team, especially the first 2 games in Denver, with the Lakers had a shot. Up by 12 in game 1. Up by 20 in game 2. And if you're a Master Edge member, you know that I wrote in our previews yesterday, AD scored 32 points in each of the first 2 games. LeBron, 26, 8, and 12 in game 2. And D'Lo, 7 for 11 from 3. How much better can they play? And I said they couldn't, and they didn't. D'Lo, I don't know if you guys have seen it. He was sitting away from the huddle crying like a little bitch. He didn't make the shot last night. So another big lead. They jumped right out from the get-go, and it looked like all the 2-0 or 0-2 teams down 0-2 at home, we're going to get a W after Magic crushed the Cavs. Philly getting past the Knicks. But not so. Denver owns them. That's 11 straight. It's 5 straight at L.A., also covering those 5. So they'll have their problems there. One more thing about these home and aways. Again, the guys that are Master Edge members, you know that I rate all our sports home and away. If there's a place, a computer rating or a rating, just giving you one rating, that would take that rating and stick it up your ass because it's worthless. Home and away, especially playoff time. There's a different thing in the playoffs, a different rating in the NBA. Teams play different. If you can't notice it in the Orlando-Cleveland series, Orlando not getting to 90 points in either game at Cleveland, going for $121 last night. Just excuse me while I'm watching some moves. So, yeah, home and away. If you don't have ratings, home and away, you don't have ratings. What we do here at Master Edge is real handicapping ratings so you can make a line and you know why we're betting a certain game. So, great day yesterday. Touch on the Cubby game a little bit. For our members, why'd you wait so long? We waited on that game because that game was only going Houston. We had 2 games yesterday. Denver, which we bet early in the week. I don't know how any money was going against Denver, but you even have some sharp money. Well, Denver can't win again. Well, the Lakers can't lose another one in a row. Same thing with the Astros. Astros can't get swept. Astros can't lose again on the road. Well, we waited till that line went all the way up to plus 130, and that's when we took it. We wait. If we see momentum going against us, we'll wait. We'll talk about that in one of the baseball games today, where I did not see it going against us, where I cannot believe the line is gone. So this is one of the few times numbers gone against us. We get the worse number. We'll talk about that later. But again, Cubs, great spot yesterday. Big home dog. Verlander only his second outing. Ice cold Astro team, one of the worst records on the road. The Cubbies, best home record, scoring the most runs per game at home. Guys, when the stats say something, just listen. It's a numbers game. We took the Cubs. We had the Nuggets, 2 for 2 yesterday, a nice big day.
Yeah, that was a short outing there for Verlander. Montero had to come in early, get a winner there with the Cubbies. We got 3 NBA games going today, guys. We'll start breaking those down. A couple in the East here to get it going. One in the East. Bucks at Indy. Milwaukee takes game 1. Lillard, the big first half, comes back with a solid game 2. Indiana, though, they take it in game 2. Pascal Siakam playing phenomenal. And I think that's really where you're missing Giannis the most on the defensive side of the ball right now, being able to play a bit of that free safety on Siakam, clog up the paint a little bit more, missing him heavy with that matchup. The Bucks are going to need adjustments. We all know Doc Rivers, not the king of making adjustments, especially when it comes to playoff series. So can you find an answer?
Actually the king of not making adjustments.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there with Indy going today. Can they find an answer for Siakam? Halliburton really hasn't been much of a presence, and Bucks are waiting for that other guy to step up. Lillard has stepped up without Giannis in the regular season. We've seen Bobby Portis with some big moments. Chris Middleton still not there. Lean ever so slightly to Milwaukee in this one, but it feels like another one of those situations. You're going to have the home team take game 3. The door is open for Giannis to come back game 4, and that could be a different look in this series. So slightest it leans to Milwaukee. Don't make the number quite this high, but not looking to buck this trend here with the home team's first game back here for Indy.
Yeah, unfortunately, game 2 was the game I expected the Pacers to play game 1. We were on Pacers game 1. We sat out game 2. And we just had those. We had those reversed. Indiana's the better team here. Milwaukee is who I thought they are without Giannis. One-dimensional with Lillard. Even more so possibly today. Middleton did not practice yesterday because of an ankle. He could also miss today. You guys know the story, how often Middleton is injured. If you got no Giannis and you got no Middleton, this one could get ugly. I could see Pacers putting a shitload of points on a team. Milwaukee has lost, I believe it's 7 of their last 10 games. 3 of those losses came to Washington, Toronto, and Memphis as double-digit favorites. This team was not playing well to end the year. They pulled the game out of their ass. Lillard scored 35 in the first half in game 1, and that's all they've done in this series. No Middleton, no Giannis. This one could get ugly. Pacers are nobody for me in this one.
So we got Clippers at Dallas. This is the one game we have a bet so far on tonight. Obviously, we had Clippers take game 1. We were on Mavs in both of the first 2 games of the series. Come back with Dallas. They get it done for us in game 2 as well. With the Kawhi return, you have Luka Doncic. Best defensive performance I've ever seen from Luka. I mean, really held down the Clippers' big 3. Didn't let them score on them once. This is already one of the best players in the world. But if he makes it a priority, like he said he did, to play on the defensive side of the ball, watch out. That's the only part of his game he can really evolve. I mean, he led the lead. He set a record this year for most points scored and assisted on in an NBA season. So the defense is the only side I can work on. We'll see how much better that keeps going. As far as the Clippers, Kawhi, second game back. What are we going to get from him? We'll see how that looks tonight, John.
We're hoping to get something from him. So we bet this game as soon as the lines basically came out. We took Clippers +4. figured Kawhi, we expected him to be rusty. Game 2, that's why we waited for the info to come out that he was going to be in, and we took the Mavs in Game 2. What Luka did, what Ben was explaining, was so out of character for Luka. He was a shutdown, lockdown wing. 46 minutes he played in Game 2. If he's going to have, and he's going to have to play that much. Look, first of all, Hardaway left Game 2. He's out. Gafford left Game 2. I'm calling him doubtful, questionable to doubtful. So you're missing another couple of pieces. Not one of the deepest teams to start with. Luka got to give you another 46 minutes. Can he give you 46 more minutes with that defensive intensity? If he does, the offense has got to suffer a little bit. Clippers, deep team. Now, the only thing that worries me, all of a sudden, when they threw out the injury report yesterday, they threw Kawhi Leonard on there. Don't panic, guys that have already got it betted. They've been putting Joel Embiid on the injured list every single game. They're going to put Kawhi on every single game. I expect him to play, but that's why that line is ticked up a little bit. Once again, Clippers are a deeper team. Clippers have had success at Dallas. I don't think Luka replicates that defensive performance. The Ty Lue Clippers figure it out. Kawhi Leonard, a little better. He was a game worse, minus 8 points in Game 2. He gets better Game 3, and Clippers come out of there with a W.
We have Wolves at Phoenix, the last game on the night. Suns, they had won 10 of 11 meetings coming into this series. Minnesota, though, takes care of business in the first couple of games. Jaden McDaniels, Game 2, led all scorers with 25 in that one.
McDaniels, huh?
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming. Edwards, not the best shooting performance in that last one. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, what's going on? I need some buckets here. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the Chandler Parsons clip about how they should start Isaiah Thomas because they need a true point guard. And that's really been the downfall here. There's just no true point guard for Phoenix. It was a little bit shaky all regular season. That's a tough way to win in this level. So it's going to be interesting to see. Does things change for the Suns at home? Does Vogel make any of those adjustments? Or does he double down on what they've been riding all season long? I have a hard time seeing too much of a change here. Now, obviously, the home team changes everything. We'll see what Minnesota looks like taking the travel. It's a big number here for the Suns to be laying. Obviously, it's an entirely Phoenix spot. Just because of the spot alone and the trends coming into this, I lean Suns, but I do not like how they looked in the first 2 games. And if they don't make any adjustments, I do not think this Game 3 will go well for them.
It's playoffs. Half-court offense. Need a point guard to do that.
Yep.
Devin Booker, 6 of the team's 19 turnovers in Game 2. Phoenix killed us the first 2 games at Minnesota. Phoenix was 10-1, 11 prior meetings, including all 3 meetings this year by double digits. And they were the only team that the Timberwolves did not beat this year, the only Western Conference team. I loved Phoenix coming into this. First 2 games have totally changed my mind. You can't hold Anthony Edwards to 3 for 12 and still get blown out. Now they're going to come to Phoenix. Can assure you, Ant-Man ain't going 3 for 12 again. Phoenix is a mess. They're already talking about where's Durant going. Is he going to OKC? Is he going to the Knicks? Both teams got a lot of picks. One person away. OKC might even be there already. We'll talk about that one later. But, yeah, don't like the makeup. Don't like Phoenix. What I do like, down 2-0, it's a must game. They've won and covered the last 6 meetings in Phoenix. So, once again, it's the home team and nothing. But I am definitely not – I do not like the Phoenix team. Don't like the way they look. Don't like the mind frame. And I don't like not having a point guard. Need a point guard. Need a quarterback on a football field.
Yep.
You need a point guard in a basketball game.
Yeah, we'll see if Isaiah Thomas does get any minutes. Obviously, that's trading offense for defense if that happens. We'll see.
Also, let me throw in one thing also. Grayson Allen, a big part.
Yes.
People don't realize, you talk about the big 3. Grayson Allen led the NBA 3-point field goal percentage. Turns an ankle in Game 1, tries to come back Game 2, doesn't make it through, probably not playing tonight. So, again, just no reason to lay these numbers with Phoenix.
Then we can head on over to this Friday baseball slate. Baseball been treating us well all season long. See if we can keep riding that heading on into the weekend. Coming off a couple of winners the last few days. First game on the card, Royals at Detroit. Lugo versus Olsen. Royals coming off a 4-3 homestand. They won the final 3 of that homestand against Toronto. And then you have this Tigers team. They've been playing pretty good on the road this season. They're coming back from a 4-2 trip. Haven't been the best lately at home. Lugo, he was solid for his first several starts. He had 4 straight quality starts. Last time out, roughed up a little bit. And then you have Olsen going here for Detroit. The trends here all favor Tigers last year, but granted, different KC team this year, and Tigers not the same team at home. KC, not a good road team either, but the pitching edge here pretty big for Lugo. Not going to hold it against him. He got roughed up by Orioles, maybe the hottest lineup in baseball right now outside Atlanta. This would be KC or nobody. Dog with the pitching edge for me.
Maybe under normal circumstances, Ben, but Royals had a nightmare of a day. 4-hour rain delay yesterday. And now they've got to travel and make a day game in Detroit. Bad spot for KC in that type of situation. Lugo got hit his last time out. Tigers owned them last year. No reason in the world for me to want to be on the Royals in this one.
We got A's going on to Baltimore. A's coming off taking a win at New York. They're now 2-5 on the trip. Both those wins coming against the Yankees. You have the Orioles now coming back from a 4-2 trip. Henderson, he stays hot to get a nice win on a very questionable call against us the other day, with Adele at second base. Was his foot in there? Was it not? That was going around a little bit. Pitching matchup, too difficult to want to go against with Stripling versus Burns. A's 0-5 in Stripling starts. Last 2 a little bit better. Orioles 5-0 and Burns' starts. 2 just completely different pitchers. And maybe even a little bit of a letdown here from Oakland. They were the only night game last night, and they're the ones who pulled off the win against the Yankees. Not really looking to go against that with Stripling today.
Huge number, big overlay, and it's an overlay for a reason. As Ben said, Oakland, the only night game. Oakland Yankees, only night game, so they'll play and travel. Baltimore, they had the day off yesterday as they came back from the West Coast. But Burns, the Orioles 5-0 in his starts, but only one of the last 4 a quality start. So take that name out of there. Look at the statistics, and there is no way in the world you want to be laying 260 with him. It's Oakland or nobody because of the price. But again, bad spot for Oakland. Pitching mismatch. The Orioles third in scoring in the league and third scoring at home. A's 29th, scoring 2.85 runs per game. So I'll lay off this one. Bad spot for them. Night game last night while Orioles had off.
Got Dodgers at Toronto. Bassett in this one. Dodgers coming off a 3-game sweep at Washington. Blue Jays, they dropped 4 of the last 5 on the trip. Always tough to back them first day back of a trip. But this is a pitching edge. Got to look at Bassett in Toronto or nothing in this one. Stone, obviously one of the worst pitchers here for LA with all their injuries, getting more opportunities. Just hasn't been good this year. Last time out, 5 walks and 3 1/3. Don't love that at all. And 5 career road starts as a 10-plus ERA. Bassett, a little bit roughed up last outing, but better at home. And he's been better at home since last year's sub-3 ERA. Toronto or nothing. Need a little bit more on this price. Dodgers now 4 straight wins. Waiting for them. This is a Dodgers team, obviously projected to win 100, 105 games. They're going to go on their typical, 10, 12, 13-game win streak a couple times this season. Are they at the start of one? Maybe. Still, Jays are nothing here for me.
Yeah, Dodgers got to get some pitches back. They got Kershaw, Buehler, Gonsolin, May. All these guys are on the IL. You got to get some pitches back. Right now, they're lucky to be where they're at. You're still getting the hitting. 3 of the top 4 guys are hitting 340 or better. Freeman just under 300. The worst average of the top 4: Ohtani, Betts, and Will Smith. Dodgers a lot of firepower. Lacking in the pitching department, and Stone is another one. He's the worst of the starters. Not only you said he was coming off 1 complete. That's his only complete game ever. Never even threw 6 innings except for the 1 outing that last time. Toronto, same situation. 4-hour rain delay on getaway day. They made such a mistake. Get them out of there. I know it's a 2-1 game, but a 4-hour rain delay. Now you got to get these guys back in Toronto. Give Bassett the edge. He's better at home than he is on the road, but not enough. I am going to need a little more to go against the Dodgers, even though Stone is absolute garbage. We need a bigger price, but would only want Toronto.
We got Nationals at Marlins. We had a bet originally on this game for when it was Williams versus Luzardo. As you guys know, all our MLB bets are with listed pitchers. Luzardo gets scratched, so we no longer have a bet there on Washington. We know some of our guys bet Nationals without the listed pitcher. This is one of those rare situations that actually works out in your favor. There's the other team's pitcher that got scratched. They got Maldonado now going instead of Luzardo. That's a win for you. Williams coming off a solid start. This game would still be a slight lean to Nats, but price obviously a lot shorter than what it was with Luzardo on the bump. And Marlins cooked them last year. 11 of 13 meetings. Tough to want to buck that now here without as much price.
Yeah. Miami had owned the series, and it was tough to go against it to start with when it was Luzardo, but this was just too high of a price. Neither of these two teams can score. They both had some rough weekends. They play. These are besides the Rockies, these are the two other worst teams in the National League. So Nats have got to play the second best team, the Dodgers. They get swept at home, scoring a total of 4 runs. Miami's got to go into the Lions' den, go play the best team at their place, Atlanta Braves. They score a total of 3 runs, getting shut out in 2 of the 3. 2 pieces of garbage was worth taking the price with Williams in that spot. With Luzardo coming out, and this is going to be another injury. We just talked about the Dodgers pitching staff. This is Alcantara. Garrett's on the pitching IL, Yuri Perez, and now it looks like Ed Luzardo. He's a late scratch going for an MRI. It's not he's not getting scratched with a cold or something. It's basically their top 4 pitches from last year, so they're all jammed up. You're bringing up a kid that was a relief pitcher. Going to give you, what's he going to give you today? Very minimal. Again, Nats are nothing, but they beat this price up, not making there any value at Washington. Originally, Washington on the road, they always give us money. Wash on the road, playing 500 this year. And Miami, worst home record in the National League, was worth the shot. Now the number's just a little too cheap. If you're fortunate enough to have action with the pitching change, you robbed it. This game's down to 15. We took plus 145 this morning.
We have Cardinals at Mets for this next one. Mikolas versus Buto. No interest in St. Louis here. You have Mikolas, who's just been miserable. Last 2 starts, 10 runs, 13 hits, and 9 1/3. And 2 starts versus Mets last year, 13 runs and 10 2/3. Mets have won all 3 of Buto's starts. Last one wasn't the best. Granted, it's against that Dodgers lineup, who is putting up good starts against them. Gave up 2 runs, 4 1/3, did have 5 walks. Little bit concerning, but when you look at that pitching around Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, and Betts, not the worst situation ever. This pitching edge ever goes to Buto and Mets. They've been playing good ball, 5-1 their last 6 at home. They did start off hot on that trip, kind of went ice cold there, dropped 3 in a row, pulled out a back end of that trip against San Francisco. Mets are nobody here for me, even with the juice.
Yeah, I don't like the way Mikolas is pitching. Cards, we thought they were going to challenge. They were the favorite to win that NL Central. Not so much anymore. Goldschmidt off the horrendous start. Mikolas not getting the job done. Metsies coming back to Citi Field. Remember, Citi Field pitches ballpark. They score a lot less runs at home than they do away. I feel the price is right. As bad as the Cardinals are, don't see any big reason to be jumping on, laying that juice. Price is right for me, right at around minus 130.
You got Cubs at Boston. You got Imanaga versus Crawford. Couple of guys pitching as good as anybody in the league right now. Cubs 4-0 in Imanaga's starts. Last one was his worst start of the season. It was still a quality start. 3 runs, 2 earned. And then prior to that, he had not given up an earned run in his prior 3 starts. Crawford for the Red Sox, coming off his second quality start this year, 1 run in 6 innings at Pitt. Prior 2 starts, 10 2/3 of shutout ball. 2 pitchers going great right now. Cubs, not the best road record. Red Sox, typically a pretty solid home team, struggle at home. And Imanaga now going in a hitter-friendly ballpark. I lean to Boston in this one. I expect the home success to become a little bit better. Cubbies bats died a little bit on that homestand. They pulled off a win for us yesterday, but it wasn't as dominant of a homestand as it was in their first go around. And we'll see what happens here in Fenway. A couple of good pitchers going. Lean Boston, staying away.
I lean Boston a little bit in this one. Cubs coming off another big win, a big sweep, 3-game sweep over Houston Astros. But by attrition, you're losing some bodies. Suzuki already out. Now they lose Bellinger for a couple of weeks with some fractured ribs. So that's why that hitting isn't really there right now. For that reason, Boston got to give them a little bit of a lean, but would only like them as a bet, as a real home dog. This game's around to pick them right now.
We got two of the best teams in baseball right now going at it. Guardians at Atlanta. You got Cleveland right now, MLB best 10-3 on the road. Braves second best 9-3 at home. Ramirez grand slam. Cleveland gets the win yesterday, 5-1 on that homestand, playing great ball right now. And the Braves hot as anybody. They're 9-1 their last 10. Going to be Allen versus Sale. Sale coming off his first quality start this season. That was against Texas. I did have a quality start versus Guardians last year. Spent a lot of time in the Central, a lot of starts against Cleveland in his career. Obviously, some of those date a while back. But really, he dominated the rest of the Central. White Sox, Detroit, KC struggled with Cleveland the most. 4.6 ERA in 32 outings versus them in his career. And then you have Allen going. Cleveland 4-1 in his 5 starts. He last 2 a little bit concerning. 7 runs, 4 homers, and 11 innings against 2 of your colder offenses in Oakland and the Yankees. We'll see what he does here against Atlanta. A couple of the good teams going at it, though, John, on big price on this game for that.
Yeah, well, look, Allen's been a little bit better on the road. The thing is, Cleveland comes in with the best road record. I got now, just what I write in the preview, Atlanta's the best team in Major League Baseball. Sale has a pitching advantage, just not enough to be a 205 favorite. Well, that's when we bet it in the morning. We took plus 186. Yep. This game has even gone higher. Ozzie Albies, he missed the last 10 days. He was out with a toe. Can't believe he's back already, but yes, he's supposed to be probable, making the rich get even richer. Still, just can't be this high of a number. Cleveland, like I said, not only the best record on the road, they're third, scoring 5.69 runs per game on the road, and they hit 292 versus left-handed pitches. That's what Chris Sale is, a left-hand pitcher. Just for that fact. Again, this is one of those games, guys, Atlanta should be favored. They should be a pretty big favorite. They just shouldn't be this big a favorite. 2-1. Remember the concept. Think of them playing this exact game, same pitching, same days off, same everything, 162 times. 2-1. You're telling me the Braves would beat the first place Guardians 108 of the 162. That don't make sense to me. We're on the Guardians at plus 186. If you're just seeing this and you're not a member, you could be betting it at a better number. This game is as high as plus 205 now.
We got Rays at White Sox, and surprising White Sox are still considered an MLB team. 3-22 on the season. Offensively, dead last in pretty much every statistic. Coming off a sweep at Cincy, or a mini, excuse me. And then you have Tampa Bay. They snapped a 3-game losing streak with a win against Detroit the other day. They've actually been better on the road so far this season. Early going, Tampa, one of your better home team, your best home team in the AL last year. We'll see if that continues. Eflin versus Flexen. Eflin, he's been pitching real solid. Flexen, they've been mixing him around, using him in relief last couple of outings. Either way, White Sox, I don't care what the number is. I don't even know if I could bet him if it was 5-1. Just playing such bad ball right now. Tough to want to back Chicago in any shape or form. Tampa or a run line or nothing here. Staying away from it.
So for my ratings, I don't remember the last time I've had a team rated as low as the White Sox are right now. And me and Ben were talking about this yesterday. I don't know if they're rated low enough. By projecting them, they're on a pace to win 20 games this year. My projections have them winning 40 some odd. So I'm way over. So how bad are they? No reason to bet them. Big underdog overlay. Right now, there's no such thing as an overlay. This team's not a major league team, and they're their only major league hitter, Robert, on the IL. I'm staying away from the White Sox.
We got Reds going on to Texas. Reds coming off getting blanked yesterday by the Phillies. You have this Rangers team coming off a loss to Seattle last night, 2-4 their last 6. They're struggling right now. Ashcraft versus Eovaldi. Ashcraft better on the road, has been roughed up his last couple of starts. Had a quality start versus the Rangers last season. And Eovaldi, they haven't been getting it done with him on the bump. They've lost his last 3 starts. Last time out, 3 runs, 5 hits, 6 walks. Always a concern. And that was at Atlanta. Got a solid road team here. The Texas team playing 500 ball, John, and that's why we're looking at Cincy today.
Took the Reds in this one. As I said in the preview, Eovaldi has been, just mentioned, 6 walks in his last outing. That's as many walks as he had in his first 4 starts. Each start getting not as good as the previous one. Good spot here. Texas just been playing with that World Series hangover. No other way to put it. We're 26 games into the season. They're sitting at 500, not even 500 at home. The Reds, 5-4 on the road this year. They were 6 games better on the road last year than they were at home. They're a better road team. There's value here. I don't see the game should be this high, so we're on Ashcraft. I took plus 150 in this one.
We got Gill versus Rhea. Yankees at Milwaukee. Yankees 11 hits last night for 1 run in their loss to Oakland. You got this Brewers team coming off a win at Pitt. They went 5-2 on the road trip. They are playing just 500 ball at home. We'll see if that continues. Brewers last 2 seasons, they took 2 of 3 against New York in New York last year. They took 2 of 3 against the Yankees in Milwaukee the year prior. And Rhea gets the pitching edge. He's been playing solid. Gill, he's gotten better with each start. Good stuff, but the walks is just a concern. I mean, he had 3 walks his last start, least amount of the season. Wild stuff. And Milwaukee's been taking care of business already. Last thing you want to do to a team who's been hitting is give them free runners. This is home dog with the Brewers or nothing. Rhea gets the pitching edge. Brewers playing better baseball right now. No interest in the Yankees.
Yeah.